It's great to have your company right around Sandown International Raceway as we get set for another season of Australia's most popular open wheel racing category. The year 1967 saw the birth of a new open wheel racing series. 5 decades on, and that series continues to be Australia's most popular form of open wheel racing. This is the 2017 Australian Formula Ford Series.
With 32 cars starting, we couldn't ask for a better start to the season. It's also been great to support the Victorian Championships as well.
This size field is a clear indication, isn't it, that Formula Ford continues to be the number one development category for young drivers aiming for a professional career.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's always been the Formula Ford Association's goal, is to make it an affordable category and one that drivers can come in, learn their craft, develop it and then move on to bigger and better things.
Liam McClellan stepping up to contest the full 2017 National Formula Ford Series with Ball & Racing Developments. Liam, stepping up from the State Series, what are you most looking forward to about this season?
Yeah, stepping up from doing the whole season last year in the States and now competing in the National Formula Ford Championship. It's definitely going to be a challenge and definitely looking forward to that with 30 plus drivers here this weekend. And definitely going for the National Championship, and it's going to be a great challenge. I've progressed from go-karting, and it's perfect in between category to learn how to drive on circuits such as Sandown, Phillip Island and Winton, which supercars do compete on. So it's a great stepping stone, and 4 gears, challenging races, and good competitors, and it's a great category.
So here with Max Vidot after the first couple of Formula Ford practice sessions. How's the car going so far, Max?
Yeah, the car's pretty good. Just working on a few little things, and let's go for it.
You put in some very impressive performances last year, particularly at Winton where you set the lap record. How much momentum are you carrying into this season?
Oh yeah, just kind of do the same thing as we did last year, just move it on to the national rounds and see how we go.
Jayden, it was a good season for you last year with a couple of race victories and a couple of pole positions. How are you looking to take the next step forward in 2017?
Look, there's always room to improve. Obviously, more wins, more podiums, more pole positions. We'll be trying to go for the championship. So we'll put our best foot forward and see what we can provide. Probably just the atmosphere. Everyone around here, everyone's happy. Everyone's got a smile on their face. Even if they have a bad race, they just shrug it off their shoulders and they move on and push on forward to the next one.
After free practice on Friday, qualifying was the first chance for the drivers to officially measure themselves against the stopwatch, and everyone was pushing hard as they tried to get the best performance out of their Yokohama Control tyres. The times tumbled as the session progressed, and some drivers found themselves in groups as they tried to get a tow along Sandown's 2 long straights. Reigning Victorian State Champion Brendan Jones continued where he left off in the Kent class, taking pole position in his number 1 Spectrum. In the Duratec class, it was Liam McClellan who took advantage of clear track to punch out a ripper lap, scoring his maiden National Series pole position. His first pole position in the National Formula Ford Series, Liam McClellan, and he picks up $250 thanks to our event sponsor Shell Helix. Phil Marinon, our category manager, to present the gift card to Liam. Liam, congratulations. How was that session?
Yeah, it was a good qualifying session. Really happy to come out on top. Teammate Jano Jetta in third. So Ball & Racing really produced a good car for this morning session. And it's really great to have Shell on board this year. Definitely helps the category, and it's a growing category. So to get pole position out of 32 cars, it's a great effort.
After qualifying, the top 3 were separated by the minuscule margin of just 0.04 of a second, giving an indication that we were set for some very close racing over the weekend. In the Kent class, Brendan Jones enjoyed a more comfortable margin, out-qualifying New South Wales driver Dan Holohan by 0.9 of a second. After qualifying, we caught up with National Series rookies Courtney Prince and Harrison Jones. So this weekend's Formula Ford round is both the opening round of the National Series but also round 1 of the Victorian State Series. One of the competitors who's running in the Victoria Series, driving for Sonic Motor Racing, is Courtney Prince. Courtney, welcome back to Formula Ford. How is it to be back out on the track?
Yeah, it's been good to get back in the car after a while. I'm really excited for this season.
You are the only female driver in Formula Ford this weekend. How is it being the sole female driver in a male-dominated category?
Yeah, it's hard, but I'm used to it as going through go-karts, being normally the only girl, but I just don't see them as anything different.
So, debut in the series this year. What are your main goals and expectations for this season?
Yeah, it's just a learning year this year, just trying to get the most out of me. And since I haven't done any go-karting, sort of just hop straight into a Formula Ford, so I just want to, get my racecraft and see where it goes from there, really.
Working with Brett Francis, who's a very experienced Formula Ford race engineer, how much has he helped you with learning the car?
Yeah, quite a lot. He's really good at going through data and explaining what I have to do to get the most out of the car, and really good to have him on my team.
Time to look at some Race 1 highlights with a range of in-car cameras covering all the action up and down the field. The front runners were battling hard, but they all managed to make it through Turn 1 cleanly. That was in the mid-pack when the drama occurred. On the right-hand side of the track, Ben Reichstein and Nick Carroll came together, while on the inside, Courtney Prince and Angelo Mazuris tangled. Hamish Riberitz, in another Sonic Motor Racing entry, was forced to take evasive action. The safety car was deployed while the stranded cars were retrieved from the circuit, and at the restart, it was back into no-nonsense racing, with the cutthroat battles that we've come to expect in Formula Ford over the last 50 years. Jaden Ojeda was the man on a mission. He slipstreamed his teammate Liam McClellan up the back straight and put a move on McClellan around the outside over Rothman's Rise. Ojeda wasn't done and sensed an opportunity to pounce at Hunt McElrea when McElrea ran wide out of Dandenong Road corner. Ojeda was through to the lead. McElrea and McClellan were left to pursue. Further back in the pack, Nick Carroll was on a recovery mission. He fought his way past Ben Dahlia at Dandenong Road corner, while in the Kent class the battle was on between Brendan Jones and James Garley, who was having a great run in his return to the series and keeping the pressure on Jones. Cameron Shields went down the inside of Cooper Murray into turn number 1. Hunter McElrea held station on the outside, but then went too deep under brakes and speared off the road at turn number 1. Max Vito saw an opportunity and pounced Liam McClellan as well, but McClellan soon got back past the Sonic Motor Racing driver. At the checkered flag, it was Ojeda who took the race victory. And in the Kent class, James Garley kept the pressure on Brendan Jones all the way to the checkered flag. So in the final results, it was Ojeda who took victory ahead of Vito, Cameron Shields, Cooper Murray and Hunter McElrea in 5th after his moment at turn number 1. Hamish Riberitz was the best of the state championship competitors in 10th position. In the Kent class, Brendan Jones took the win by just 0.1 of a second over the impressive returnee James Garley, and after the race we caught up with Jones and also Dan Holohan to talk about their Kent class battles.
Yes, those guys keep pushing me, which is great. Great to have Jim back this year. He's been out of the car for 18 months, so he come on really well yesterday. And Dan's improving all the time. I think he probably races more than anybody in the Kents at the moment, so it's good to see him catching up.
Yeah, actually I don't mind going against the national guys. It's fun. Obviously in the rain, when the rain comes along, you can battle with the back markers. It's quite different, but it's interesting through the corners. You can definitely play games with them, and on the straights they're going to easily beat us.
On board with Cameron Shields for the start of race 2, and the young Queenslander got a ripper start from the second row of the grid, out accelerating both Jaden Ojeda and Max Vito on the run into turn number 1. They were 4 wide a bit further back in the pack. Up the front though, on the dirty side of the circuit, Shields outbraked himself, ran wide, allowed Ojeda back through to the lead. Liam McClellan was charging his way through from the back after a technical infringement in race number 1, and Max Vito temporarily grabbed P1, but Ojeda was back down through on the inside at Dandenong Road corner. Also having a good battle with Jordan Boys and Hunter McElrea, the Sonic driver grabbing the spot, and Nick Carroll was keen to make amends after his dramas in the opening race. He got down the inside of American driver Ryan Bjerke at Dandenong Road corner. Max Vito and Jaden Ojeda continued their hot battle for the lead, and Cameron Shields maintained a watching brief in 3rd position. In the Kent class, Brendan Jones pulled away from his rival James Garley, and at the back of the field, Doug Williams and Malcolm Coleman had a very entertaining fight for position. Liam McClellan continued his march forward, catching up to Nick Carroll, but it was a pretty cutthroat battle with Zach Sutar getting involved in the action as well. Harrison Jones and Ryan Bjerke also found themselves battling for position, Bjerke going down the outside at turn number 11, and then down the inside at turn number 2, as Jones took advantage of the slipstream to go around the outside of Bjerke at the end of the back straight. Ojeda and Vidot were not going to give an inch to each other. Vidot back round the inside and Ojeda just clipping the rear wheel of Vidot's car as he recaptured the lead at Dandenong Road corner. Unfortunately, the race was shortened due to this incident. Andrew Petro running into the back of Paul Zitty's car, spearing into the gravel at Dandenong Road and causing a red flag stoppage. The race was declared with 4 out of the 8 laps complete. Ojeda declared the winner ahead of Vidot, Shields, McElrea and Jordan Boys. In the Kent class, it was Brendan Jones who took the win ahead of James Garley and Dan Holohan, and we caught up with Cameron Shields and Ryan Bjerke to talk us through their races.
In race 2, I got a really good start. Off third position, I managed to get up to first place in the turn 1, but I hit a puddle on the way in, so that pushed me a little wide and I went back to 4th, but I managed to get back to 3rd throughout the race. Yeah, at the moment, the racing is incredibly close. There's a lot of passing going on. There's just a freight train of us at the front there, so it can be anyone's race at the moment. It's really hard to know who's got the pace, but yeah, it's very close racing.
It's very exciting. Everybody's very aggressive, and it kind of plays into my driving style. I'm known for being a little bit aggressive in the States as it is, so it's fun to be around the same kind of driving style. The circuits that we race on in the States are quite a bit more flowy and they're longer, so coming to tracks like this where it's a lot more stop and go, it's something to get used to, but it's a hell of an experience and I wouldn't trade it.
It was all to play for in the final race of the weekend at Sandown International Raceway, and Max Vidot from the outside of the front row got the jump on the pole sitter Jaden Ojeda and out-accelerated him on the run to turn 1. Ojeda also lost second position with Cameron Shields sweeping around the outside in a great move to take position 2. Aaron Cameron had been steadily working his way forward all weekend and lined up Hunter McElrea for a move at the end of the back straight, but ran a bit wide, dropped all 4 wheels off the racetrack, somehow gathered it up as Ojeda ran wide at Dandenong Road corner. There was drama at turn number 11. Liam McClellan was right in the mid-pack and had a bird's eye view of the incident between Adrian Lazaro and Hunter McElrea. Lazaro tagged the back of McElrea's car and the rest of the field was forced to take evasive action between turns 11 and 12. Vidot led away ahead of Cameron Shields and Jordan Boys, while Aaron Cameron was up to 4th position ahead of Jaden Ojeda and impressive young gun Nathan Hearn making his Formula Ford debut. Hearn went down the inside of Cameron and Ojeda at turn 1, came in a bit too hot and spun his Shell-sponsored Formula Ford. The safety car was deployed to deal with the stranded car of Adrian Lazaro between turns 11 and 12, and that bunched up the field. At the restart, Max Vidot had his foot down, but he was being hotly pursued by Cameron Shields, Jordan Boys and Aaron Cameron. Shields, with a great restart, went for a move on Vidot at turn number 1, but outbraked himself and allowed both Vidot and Boys through on the exit. Ojeda, after his less than ideal start, was highly motivated to work his way back to the front of the field. He started to punch in some fast lap times and looked to use the slipstream of Shields and Aaron Cameron, but lost a spot to his teammate Liam McClellan at the end of the back straight. McClellan, another driver who was very keen to make up positions after his tough weekend, was on a charge, while Ben Dahlia lost a spot to the recovering Hunter McElrea at Dandenong Road corner. Out in front, Max Vidot was pulling away, but still had Jordan Boys in hot pursuit as Ojeda and Liam McClellan continued their dice at the tail end of the top 5. The battle between the two Ball and Racing Developments teammates got pretty intense, and the two cars had a light brush at turn number 1. Fortunately, no damage was sustained to either vehicle, and Cameron Shields was able to take advantage. Reigning New South Wales state champion Jet Bennett was making his first appearance in national Formula Ford competition and got involved in a battle with Ben Reichstein. The two drivers were battling for a position inside the top 10 and were going to fight pretty ferociously. In the Kent class, Brendan Jones continued his domination of the weekend, with James Garley sitting in second position and Dan Holohan rounding out the podium. Doug Williams and Malcolm Coleman resumed their contest in the Kent class from the previous race. Coleman had some technical issues earlier in the weekend, but now his Kent-powered Formula Ford was running on all cylinders, and he was keen to have a good battle. Liam McClellan and Aaron Cameron found themselves battling for third position. Cameron was a lot happier with the performance of his car in the final race of the weekend and was determined to hold out the feisty McClellan. But McClellan used the slipstream to his advantage and got past Cameron at turn 1. Meanwhile, at the tail end of the top 10 runners, Jet Bennett was involved in a pretty hot contest with Zach Sutar, who ran a bit wide at Dandenong Road corner out over the exit Ripple Strip and allowed a couple of drivers past, including Ben Reichstein. Max Vidot had broken away from Jordan Boys at the front of the field, and Boys was starting to fall back into the clutches of McClellan, Cameron and Ojeda. Meanwhile, Nathan Hearn continued his recovery drive after the earlier spin at turn 1. And they were still going at it. Doug Williams getting passed once again by Malcolm Coleman at turn number 1, and then having to use the slipstream on the back straight to fight his way back past. Heading into the final lap, and Aaron Cameron was inside the top 5 positions, and with the sniff of a podium, he lined up McClellan and Boys on the back straight, but dropped all 4 wheels off the racetrack, somehow managing to gather his car up and rejoin the circuit just in front of Jordan Boys. Boys then lost some speed out of Dandenong Road corner, which allowed Liam McClellan up on his outside, while Jaden Ojeda held back, looking for an opportunity to make the switchback. In a mad scramble to the line, it was Max Vidot who took the checkered flag. Aaron Cameron crossed the line second, but would later receive a penalty, allowing Liam McClellan to finish in P2. In the Kent class, it was a clean sweep for Brendan Jones, the reigning Victorian state champion, kick-starting his title defence in perfect fashion to take victory ahead of James Garley and Dan Holohan. But the weekend belonged to Max Vidot, who took his first race and round win in National Formula Ford. Final results saw Max Vidot the winner ahead of Liam McClellan, Jaden Ojeda, Jordan Boys, Harry Jones in 5th ahead of Nathan Hearn, Ben Reichstein, Zach Sutar, Jet Bennett and Cooper Murray completing the top 10. In the Kent class, Brendan Jones enjoyed his most comfortable race win of the weekend, taking victory by 3.1 seconds ahead of James Garley, with Dan Holohan rounding out a consistent weekend in 3rd. In the title race, Vidot and Ojeda ended the weekend tied on points. Jordan Boys' consistent weekend put him 3rd in the standings, ahead of Nathan Hearn and Cameron Shields. Now let's catch up with our top 3 on the podium. It's now time for the podium presentation for round 1 of the 2017 Australian Formula Ford Series. In 3rd place this weekend, a consistent performance from Jordan Boys.
Yeah, it wasn't the strongest weekend, but to pull through with the 3rd's a great result. Big thanks to all my family for putting in all their effort. Yeah, it'll be good next round. Hopefully we can get a bit more speed out of it, but yeah, this is a great result.
Even though you might not have had the pace to be fighting right at the front, still a valuable haul with points for your title campaign.
Yeah, definitely. That's the best thing about keeping your nose clean. So looking forward to the next round. We'll take the fight to them.
Yeah, tough weekend racing all weekend. Still happy to come away with second in the round. Not far off Max, so we'll push forward for Wakefield in a few weeks' time and see how we go there.
Obviously, you've had a strong car this weekend as well, so credit to the Borland team for giving you a good car.
Yeah, well, 100%. All credit goes to them. I couldn't have done it without them. I mean, they gave me a wonderful car to drive, and I'm just happy to be able to be the one to put it up on the front and provide them with great results.
Congratulations, Max, there or thereabouts all weekend, and came up with the goods in the final race to pick up your first race victory and first round victory in National Formula Ford. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was close, hard racing with all the guys in the class, and the team gave me an awesome car all weekend and just had to work from it.
How are you feeling about your chances for the rest of the season after this great start?
Yeah, pretty happy. We'll see how we go. It's a long season, so just plod along.
That concludes all of the action from the opening round of the 2017 Australian Formula Ford Series. See you at round 2 at Wakefield Park on the 1st and 2nd of April.